The new book, Elon Musk, written by Walter Isaacson, reveals the amazing story behind the scientific advances of the Soviet Union in the 1980s that bankrupted Elon Musk, father of famed billionaire Elon Musk. At the time, Elon Musk owned a thriving business importing emeralds from Zambian mines and cutting and selling them in South Africa. His emerald empire was generating considerable revenue, but as it turned out, it wasn't exactly a legitimate business. The sudden appearance of a new technology developed by Soviet scientists that allowed the production of artificial emeralds was fateful. These synthetic jewels turned out to be of such high quality and affordability that they forced natural emeralds off the market. Elon Musk, whose income depended on the trade in natural emeralds, found himself in an extremely difficult position. Walter Isaacson writes in his book, Elon Musk, he lost all of his emerald income. Eventually, Elon Musk's business went bankrupt, and he lost a huge portion of his fortune. By the time the business went bankrupt, Elon Musk had managed to earn about $210,000 from gemstone trading, which would be about 20 million rubles in today's terms. Elon Musk's bankruptcy served as one of the key moments in the life of Elon Musk, inspiring him to create and develop a number of technology companies such as SpaceX and Tesla. A mysterious incident involving a strange man, suspected of causing several car accidents, is under investigation in Nebraska, U.S. According to the police, this man not only appears at the scene of each accident, but may be their direct cause. This is reported by WeOut.com. Recently, the spouses Harrison Beach and Skylar witnessed one such incident. They were forced to pull off Route 36 in Bennington to avoid hitting a large piece of metal lying right in the middle of the road. When they got out of the vehicle, they were confronted by the same mysterious man who suddenly appeared as if out of nowhere and offered his help. This is not the first incident of its kind. There have been several other accidents involving the appearance of various objects on the road on the same stretch of motorway. Each time, the same man appeared afterwards, ready to come to the aid of the victims. Captain Eric Sellers of the Douglas County Sheriff's Office confirmed police suspicions. He's always the first to come to the rescue and call 911, so he looks like a hero in a lot of people's eyes. But our data indicates that he is the one causing these crashes. However, the situation took an even stranger turn when someone, probably the same person, called a local news station, identifying himself as Harrison Beach, and demanded that information about the accidents be removed. This mysterious stranger left 3 identical voice messages with the same demand. Harrison Beach expressed his bewilderment at what was happening. It seems crazy to me that someone is impersonating me on the phone, trying to hide the truth. He also emphasized that the calls definitely did not come from him. The investigation into the mystery is ongoing, and police hope to soon shed light on the identity of the mysterious stranger and find out his motives. An amazing continent, magical Australia. Everything here is almost on the verge of the supernatural, mystical, or even horrible, or even incomprehensible to our logical minds. For example, there are even rock waves here. The wave rock, look at the photo, is named so for the reason that it looks like a huge sea wave, only as if frozen by magic. Its height reaches 15 meters and its length is more than 100 meters. This granite-like sea wave, literally growing out of the ground, in fact formed here, as scientists have found out, about 60 million years ago. Most likely, at the time when this stone massif appeared here, it did not look much like a sea wave. It was made so by the co-authorship of the great sculptors, wind, rain, and sun. The time when the granite wave only began to form was in the Jurassic period of the dominance of dinosaurs on Earth. Let's take bugs, for example. So, the bark beetle Coccotrips dactylipard, well known as a pest of date palms, is very surprisingly arranged in terms of reproduction. Since the males of these beetles are haploid and the females are diploid, the process of producing heterosexual individuals becomes more complicated. In humans, by the way, the sperm of a man and the egg of a woman are haploid, so there are no problems for the formation of heterosexual offspring. How does Coccotrips dactylipard solve this problem? Very pretentious, I must say. The female lays eggs without any mating, by parthenogenesis, from which, after a while, only males appear. Next, the female mates with one of them, most often with her eldest son, after which she eats him and all the other offspring. And already in the second turn of offspring, she has both females and males, which she already carefully nurtures. Amazing, isn't it? But nature does not create anything for nothing, and therefore this method of reproduction is more stable and reliable, where even the complete loss of males does not change anything. Now let's look at another incredible natural mechanism in the world of bugs. This time, it is not related to reproduction, but rather to the ability of insects to adapt and resist the external environment. It turns out that the legs of weevil beetles are arranged according to the principle of a semi-screw, semi-hinge joint. Thanks to this insect, amazing mobility is provided, since its legs do not bend, as for example in many living creatures, but literally rotate. These are such amazing things. If people looked more closely at the natural wonders of nature, they would probably expect less of some incredible mystical manifestations, which in fact are not as interesting and unique as the multi-million-dollar mysteries of the surrounding reality.